Welcome to Animal Stories for Kids. If you like our stories, please give us a 5-star rating, subscribe to our podcast, and share it with your friends and family. Plus, check out exclusive show-related content and join the community at patreon.com/Animal Stories for Kids. And now, it's time for our story. Once upon a time, there was a banana slug named Earl. Earl the banana slug lived in a great forest where huge redwood trees towered above and where he enjoyed the cool shade and the moist ground and plants around the big creek that ran through the forest. But on this particular day, he was actually at the top of the mountain that was next to the great forest. He had just finished his long journey up the mountain a few days before, where he had enjoyed the breathtaking view of the forest below. Now, it was time to head back down to his home near the creek, where the towering redwood stood. He had made this journey many times before, except this time, it was starting to rain a lot more than usual. Earl the banana slug stretched his slimy body along a wet rock, taking in the misty mountain air as he got ready to go on his journey back home. The rain had been steady all morning, leaving everything cool and really wet, just the way he liked it. Earl wasn't the fastest creature in the forest, far from it, so he knew that his journey back down from the mountain would be a dangerous one with many predators out to eat him. But he had to get back home no matter what. The mountain was full of hungry creatures who would love nothing more than a soft, squishy slug snack like himself. So he kinda had no choice but to make sure he got back home safely. He said to himself as he began his journey, "It's time to get back to the creek." As Earl the banana slug inched his way down a mossy log, he felt the forest change around him. Birds rustled in the branches, trying to stay out of the water as much as they could, and squirrels were huddled underneath branches trying to stay away from the rain too. And then, a shadow went by. Earl's slimy skin tingled with alarm as a garter snake slithered into his view. The snake's tongue flicked in and out, tasting the air. It locked its eyes on Earl the banana slug and said, "A slug, just what I needed for lunch." Earl the banana slug knew he had to think fast. He couldn't run, and he definitely couldn't fight. But he had one secret weapon: his slime. And just as the snake struck, Earl quickly curled into himself and released an extra thick layer of slime. This wasn't just any slime. It was the special, sticky kind that banana slugs make when they get scared. The snake lunged, but the moment it got Earl the banana slug's slime on its mouth, it recoiled and went back in disgust. "Bleh! Blech! What is this?" the snake gagged and said, flicking its tongue wildly. Earl's slime had a numbing effect. It was making the snake's mouth feel all tingly and weird. The snake twisted and squirmed, rubbing its face against the ground, trying to get rid of the awful feeling. Earl the banana slug took the opportunity to ooze away as quickly as he could. The snake was too busy wiping its mouth on the ground to bother chasing him. "That was close," Earl mumbled to himself, relieved but still a little shaky. He continued on his way, carefully sliding down the forest floor, where fallen wet leaves made the perfect squishy path for him. A little while later, just as Earl the banana slug was feeling more confident, he heard a soft hooting sound. His body stiffened a little. An owl. He knew what that meant. Danger. If an owl had spotted him, he was in big trouble. He had to think quickly. Before he could react, the owl swooped down from a branch and snatched Earl up in its sharp talons. Earl the banana slug dangled helplessly as the owl carried him higher and higher above the forest floor. He wriggled, but there wasn't much a banana slug could do when caught in midair. Then, something unexpected happened. As the owl flapped its wings, a strong gust of wind rushed through the trees, and the rain built up. And it was raining really hard, and the wind was blowing really hard too, shaking the branches of the trees violently. In fact, the wind and rain picked up so bad that the owl couldn't see well, and it couldn't keep flying anymore. The owl got distracted while it was trying to catch itself in the heavy wind and rain, and it loosened its grip for just a second, just enough time for Earl to slip right out of its talons. Earl the banana slug fell and tumbled through the air and landed right into a pile of wet, slimy leaves. It was the perfect landing pad for a banana slug, and he lied there for a moment, making sure he was okay before wiggling his way free.
That was close too,
he said to himself. He was saved by the wind and rain. It was another reason for him to love rain, other than the fact that it makes everything wet just the way Earl likes it. Feeling grateful, but exhausted, Earl continued his journey toward the creek. The rain finally slowed down and was beginning to stop, and he could finally see the creek, and he could hear the gentle gurgling of the water too. He was almost home. But as he got closer and slithered around a tree root, he heard rustling in the bushes. Something was watching him, and suddenly, he came face to face with a raccoon. The raccoon leaped out from behind a fallen log. Its eyes locked onto Earl. The raccoon said to him as he was getting closer, "Well, well, what do we have here? A plump, juicy banana slug? Looks like dinner to me." Earl knew raccoons loved to snack on slugs, but he wasn't about to give up. He tensed up, trying to think fast. And just as the raccoon stepped forward, lunging at him to snatch him up, it stepped in a patch of really slippery mud that was made from all the rain. "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa," the raccoon said as its feet slid right out from under it. The raccoon couldn't help itself. It fell forward toward Earl, and the raccoon fell over him, and he hit the muddy ground and slid down toward the creek. And now it was all muddy and wet. Earl the banana slug watched as the raccoon sat up, looking dazed and very, very wet. The raccoon groaned, shook its fur, and huffed and said, "Ugh, it's not worth it." And without another word, the soggy raccoon scurried off into the trees. Earl then let out a slow, relieved breath and said,
Phew, that one was very close.
At last, he made it home to the creek. The sound of the rushing water and the towering redwoods made him feel safe again. And so, he then nestled himself under a damp log, the perfect place for a banana slug to rest. And as he curled up, he thought about his wild adventure down the mountain. He may not have been the fastest creature in the forest, but he had safely found his way back home from the mountain again, just as he always did. And the banana slug lived happily ever after. The end. The banana slug is a type of land slug that belongs to a group of animals called mollusks, just like snails, clams, and octopuses. Scientists call them Areolamax, which is their genus, or a group of closely related animals. They belong to the family Areolamacidae, which means they're a part of a special group of slugs that live in forests. Banana slugs are gastropods, like snails and other slugs, and they move by crawling on their ventral feet, which are on their bellies. And they have such a thick layer of slime or mucus that it kind of acts like glue and they can crawl up things and sometimes hang upside down. Because they're gastropods and they move on their belly, banana slugs have a maximum speed of 6.5 inches per minute. This makes them one of the slowest animals on Earth. Banana slugs don't have a shell like snails do, so they use slime to stay moist and safe. Banana slugs breathe through a small hole on the right side of their body called a pneumostome that can be opened and closed to take in air when they need it or to adapt in their environment. Banana slugs are called banana slugs because they kind of look like bananas. There are 5 different species of banana slugs in the Areolamax genus, which are the Areolamax columbianus, which is the Pacific banana slug, the most common and the largest of this species found in the Pacific Northwest, the Areolamax californicus, which is the California banana slug that are found mostly in the coastal forests of California, the Areolamax dolichophallus, which is also a species found in California, the Areolamax brachyphallus, which is a less known species found in some regions of California, and the Areolamax stromineus, which can be found in southern Oregon and northern California. Banana slugs love cool, damp forests, especially in the Pacific Northwest of North America. Banana slugs need wet places to keep their bodies from drying out, so they come out more after it rains. Banana slugs make a slimy trail that helps them glide smoothly over the ground. Banana slugs have 2 sets of tentacles, 1 set of 2 on top of their head, which are for seeing light and movement. And they also have another set of 2 tentacles closer to their mouths for smelling and feeling. Banana slugs are omnivores. They eat just about anything. Banana slugs are great for nature too. They eat dead plants and animals and droppings and fungi, and they turn them into nutrient-rich soil. Banana slugs are the largest land mollusks in North America. They can reach up to 10 inches long, and they can weigh up to 4 ounces. Banana slugs are usually bright yellow, but also can be green, brown, tan, or even white. Some even have black spots, and their color can change based on their diet, light exposure, and even moisture levels. Banana slugs are native to the Pacific coastal forests of North America, from southeastern Alaska to Santa Cruz, California. They thrive in cool, damp environments like the redwood forests. Banana slugs have a special mucus plug at the end of their tail that allows them to create a slime cord like a natural rope to rappel down from high places. Banana slugs don't have big teeth like people or sharks. Instead, they have a radula, which is a special scratchy tongue covered in thousands of tiny teeth. They could have up to 27,000 little teeth. The way it works is that these tiny teeth help scrape and chew their favorite foods. If any animal tries to eat a banana slug, the slime tastes bad and even makes their mouth feel numb. This helps keep banana slugs safe from most predators. Have you seen a real banana slug before? If you have, where did you see it? If you want to write to us, ask your parent to email us at animalstoriesforkids@gmail.com and tell us what you think of our stories. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to Animal Stories for Kids. If you like our stories, please give us a 5-star rating, subscribe to our podcast, and share it with your friends and family. Plus, check out exclusive show-related content and join the community at patreon.com/animalstoriesforkids. Until next time, bye!